Well, hello there, folks. It's MrBluepie, and actually today I'm going to take you guys down a fun little rabbit trail. We're going to visit my past, my childhood, if you will. I'm not expecting this video game to get actually a lot of views. This is going to be kind of a one-shot, but I figured I'd do it for fun because this is the game that I grew up in my childhood loving since I was like 6 years old. Really enjoy it. It's called Age of Empires. It's a strategy civilization building game. It's kind of like semi-civilization, but excuse me, it's a little different. It's not turn-based. It's you guys will see. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do this, and you guys can see a little bit of what I really enjoyed playing when I was younger. Of course, it's a PC exclusive, so Xbox and PlayStation, like Switch, are not going to have this. But anyway, starting simply, I don't like picking teams anymore, just because I like to be able to do good at whatever team I'm playing. And we're going to do difficulty standard. I haven't played this in a minute, so bear with me. I might not win, because I'm not super good at it or anything like that, despite playing it for a while, and I just got back into it. So we're gonna do a standard. We'll see how it goes. We'll do random team, and yeah, basically you build a civilization, you build an army, you try to kill your enemies. There we go. Well, this is what it looks like. So at the very beginning, it's crucial to start pumping villagers out as quick as possible and getting your food and wood resources going really fast. At least in my opinion, the first things you want to start doing is food and wood, period. Like, almost don't even start really focusing on gold so much. Gold isn't going to be needed until a little bit, like maybe a few minutes later into the next stage. But food and wood are definitely going to be your number two, or your first two, like, main super things you gonna have to get, because you're gonna have to pay for all your stuff with food, wood, gold, and stone. Food and wood are the biggest resources you can get. As far as what's in the map, gold and stone are a little bit less. So you, in my opinion, you want to use those to really focus on just upgrading things or techniques or stuff like that. You know, if you want to use certain units that you can pump out a ton of really quickly, your best bet is to straight up just go with the food and wood, because like I said, that's the easiest thing to get. I'll explain why a little bit later as well. Anyway, we are neck and neck with our opponent. Just not where I'd like to be. I'd like to be a little bit further, honestly. Put one guy on coin. Just got another house built. So the reason we do houses as well is because you have a population limit, so you can only build so many people or warriors, things like that, up to your limit. The more houses you build, the bigger your limit goes up, so you have to build those in order to raise your limit. I'm only at 20, so I only have 11 villagers, for instance, or units. But yeah, like I said, this is a team-based game, you know, and ooh, he's ahead of me now. It's basically you kill each other to win, or you can build something called a monument, and you win in like 3 minutes. Basically, if it's still alive for 3 minutes, or you capture these things right here called relics, and if you get all of them, same thing, few minutes, and you can win just by holding them. That's if you don't get killed. Crap. Person's already feudal age. Good start, guys. So that's the one thing is you don't really want them to be upgrading ages. If you upgrade an age, that basically means that you're going to have new techniques or units and buildings and things you can create. So he's already at a point where he can get some better, stronger things, should he be able to afford it. And here we go. We're going to research that, and research that, because I want to be able to make stuff really quickly by getting resources really fast. Create a market so that I can trade resources as needed. I only have one goal. I'm not going to waste on that yet. Is that almost done? Researching. Now, like I said, villagers, which are the ones that build things and gather resources, it's super crucial to get a lot of them, honestly, and to just try to pump out as much as you can for resources, because you know, the person that has the fastest resources, essentially, or is gaining resources the quickest, is going to be the one that's going to be able to pop military units out and stronger stuff out even quicker. If that's not me, we're going to have problems. So, the beginning usually is a little bit slow, because you have to start, you start at the bottom with a couple villagers, got to build some things, and kind of go from there. But yeah, villagers are definitely important. A lot of people like to create military units really, really quickly. Personally, I don't. I don't like to focus on that super quickly, super much, just because I think there's more important things. However, we're playing against a really, for my level anyway, a quick opponent that's really fast. Especially getting that new age, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're already, you know, creating military units, and then it's just a matter of who attacks quickest. Okay, I don't have enough food, so I'm just gonna get these techs. So a lot of these techs that I'm researching, these little icons here that I'm hitting, they're things to upgrade, like how fast they're going to get certain resources, basically. It's nothing real crazy. But I don't want them to be quicker than me at it. So, also, I'm going to block that off. The reason I'm blocking that off is because I don't want them to get near me. They could use ships to try to come get me and transport units across eventually, but just in case, I'm just going to build a wall right there because they can walk across that. And I don't really feel like saying hello to them yet. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to research Castle Age, even though I don't have a bunch of stuff quite done yet, just because I can create a extra town center, which to me is a big deal, so I can pop out even more villagers quicker. So yeah, so what you guys see right now, this isn't very much. It's going to expand, trust me, very quickly. Once we get into the Castle Age, that's when things start speeding up a little bit more. Yeah, because I don't have any villagers to expand upon. Usually they're going to be probably down in this area of the map. Just usually how the map's made, opposite sides. Depending on how many players are, it can be a little bit more complicated, but the enemy's probably going to be there. You have different types of units, of course. You have your normal barracks units, just like swords or spearmen, archery, so it's going to be bows and arrows or javelins, or sometimes hand cannoneers, which shoot like missiles or big old bomb bullet thingies. There we go. that was the most important step. Now we can start doing some fun things. I'm going to build this just so I can see a little bit better line of sight. The reason that I wanted to get Castle Age is now I can go ahead and build a town center, which is the thing that I'm putting all of my villagers out of. Now that I can do this, I can go ahead and expand my territory a whole lot more into other areas, which is a big deal to me. I also really need to start gathering certain other resources a lot quicker now. I don't have enough stone, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and just build archery range here so I can start moving downwards. Because the one thing you definitely do not want to do that's really, really typical is to bunch all your stuff up into one small area of the map. Ideally, I want that half of the map. I want the whole half if I can. And I want to get it rather quickly. Even if I kind of wonder if he's coming down here somewhere. We might have a little bit of a problem there. Hey there. What are you doing? No. Okay, so obviously they're coming at me from somewhere. That doesn't make me super comfortable that they're getting by somewhere. He could be over here. I don't think so, but could be coming at me over there. Or he is using ships already and is transporting stuff to me, which could be a bit of a problem. Okay, so that should be done in a few seconds. Gonna upgrade my archers. So we're going to go ahead and start that. Start creating villagers there really quickly. I'm low on stuff, but I'm taking a risk that with all the stuff I'm creating, it won't be a problem here soon. Also kind of wondering if I just trapped him in, that's the whole reason that he's still here. Either way, I need to put a couple more in stone now. So this is the point where we really want to start putting into gold. We're going to start needing to research a lot of stuff, and gold's going to be the biggest thing for that. So that's when that's going to come into play a lot more. Oh, there we go. I'm just going to double check over here to make sure that they're not coming out anywhere. I don't know if he was just stuck or what that was, but enemy was there. That's all that matters. I don't like that. Okay. So as you see, the pace starts to quicken up a little bit. As you start going through the game and get to like the Castle Age. Keep in mind, he's still in the Feudal Age, so I have a little bit of a gain on him at the moment. That could change any second though, so I have to be really careful. And also keep in mind, there's a couple of buildings I have not built, and I really need to build them really quickly and start researching stuff on them ASAP. So one of those things I'm going to need to do as well, haven't touched, is a dock. I'm probably a little late on a couple things. I'm not going to shred too much about it. It's not a huge deal, but we're going to pick up on that a little bit quicker. Okay, that's good. Now I'm getting a little worried about down in this area. If the enemy's going to come down there. They can use transports to basically take their units and move them anywhere in the map across water if they need to. That's not something I want to have happen right now at all. So we're going to go ahead and try to make sure that doesn't happen. There's a couple of ways to make this easier too, in terms of avoiding that. Get those monks, pick up those relics, because I don't like those right there. Make a couple of more of those. I'm also gonna make that there and get the berries. Research that too, because I need it. I also want to make sure our population keeps staying up, so I never hit that max. Thankfully, houses are only 30 wood, which is ridiculously cheap, so I don't have to worry about that too much. You'll notice too, there's a couple things I'm not researching. It's on purpose. And no, I'm not dumb. It's just a matter of choice. Some things are not as necessary to do as others, maybe. So, okay, so there's a dock, and now he's in the castle age. So now I need to really be careful and start watching what he's gonna do. So another big thing with a castle age is you can create castle units. Basically, they're going to be your super units, and they can be very dangerous depending on what they do. And each team has their own special kind. So, like I said, you have to be careful. This gets into dangerous waters. I need to check what he is. I'm not sure what he is. He is Korean, so spearmen are actually going to be my friends in this game, because you can use this kind of chariot horse wagon type people, and spears will be good against them. For me, I'm using Mongols, so I'll be using horse type stuff too, archers. Not really my kind of thing, but you know, that's what I pick random, and that's what it gave me. So excuse me. I'm gonna make sure they kill that, because I'm gonna try to control the seas. Like I said, you keep those villagers popping out. The max population limit you can have in Age of Empires that they've created is 500. I'm not even at 95, so it's not a big deal. If you think you make too many, that's fine. By all means, make too many, because the more you make, the more you're gonna pop out or gather resources. And like I said, this game is all about who can gather resources the fastest to do certain things. So, oops, that's not what I was thinking, but there we go. And of course, I'm going to build a third town center up there to expand on that. Ooh, cool. I didn't know Mongols had camels. Camels are also good against different horse units. That'll help me out in the later future. So we gotta start speeding some things up a little bit. Still not as high on resources as I want us to be, but we'll get there. Just a matter of timing. So I'm checking, just need to make sure that they can't get across anywhere. Of course, he's gonna kill him. Freaking wolves, man. Barely alive. Okay. While he's doing that, I'm gonna do a quick checky over here. Put it at that. Okay, well they're definitely got units at this point and are looking around, so I've got to be very careful. Probably gonna put one more barracks up there just to start getting ready for anything that could happen. They might have gotten that already, but I'm gonna risk it and just see if I can get it anyway. And you start putting some walls down in this area in case they try to come over here, because you can never be too careful. That is a for sure thing. Trying to think. Definitely need a lot more villagers in this area if I want to populate it. This area needs a whole bunch more villagers as well. Oh, the wolf, I guess, killed my person. So, only thing I'm like really concerned about, honestly, is the fact that I'm using my gold a little bit quicker than I anticipated. So one of the big things too, when you're in Castle Age and stuff, and people usually get really excited. Excuse me. Really excited about, you know, special units and things like that. Only to realize that usually they're really expensive, like really expensive, and so it already takes 650 stone, and that's a lot of stone just to make a castle for those units, and that's a precious commodity. So you really only need one castle, you know, if you're gonna even use those kinds of units, depending on what you're doing. So yeah, one castle's like all you really need. And then it's always good to be sparing on those units, because like I said, you know, they're not super important units, and so to build a lot of them, you're just gonna waste resources that you could use into better things, especially you know, units that are as good as castle units. Blanket on my head. All right. Yeah. Anyway, you know, the resources are limited in this game, especially if your game goes on for very long, and you know, that's why usually you want to kill it quick. Literally your opponent, and you don't want it to drift off too far. The longer you spend in the game, the less resources you have eventually. You can usually keep your markets up pretty well. If I ever need wood to keep my farms up, just sell my food that I get from the constant reproduction of farms. There you go. Like I said, it's limited. And even then, I don't think you can keep that up very well if you wanted to at one point. So, meanwhile, I gotta clear the wood so I have room for more food, because I am starting to go low on that, and that's not a good thing. We need to get a whole bunch more farms out. I am a little concerned because I haven't been focusing too much on the warrior aspect, so we're probably going to start focusing on that now. I'm kind of a defense person, so I automatically will put up a defense very, very quickly, just to play safe all the time, because you never know what they're gonna do. So, seeing as we're kind of in that place now, we're gonna start really building on warriors. So, certain people use like food and gold to cost. To buy them, and that's the expensive part. Food and wood being the cheapest resources and easiest to get. You know, they're usually not the best warriors, or they're very specific on what they kill, like spearmen. But it's food and wood, so I can pump those out like crazy if I want. And so that's actually what we're gonna do. With a couple special warriors we're gonna use, of course. But mainly, these are gonna be the main ones we're going to use. For him, we're gonna have him building outposts so I can kind of see what's going on. And you're going to build me a gate, thank you. You were gonna build some houses. Thank you. So notice my population was getting a little bad. Alright, so right here, wood and gold. So some things yes, some things no as far as what I have to use, but hey, it's not so bad. But like I said, those are going to be my special units, and they are going to be costly. So I do have to be somewhat careful. Also realize we're going to take you. I needed a gate, didn't even think about that. Haha. What I'm doing with these little palisades too, these are like mini walls, honestly. Just putting on along the river's edge in case they try to move any of their soldiers around. I don't want that. So I kind of put like it's not expensive, but it's not good. It's like a miniature blockade, so I can kind of see and gives me a chance to react somewhat relatively quickly. So I'm going to increase my line of sight because I want to be able to see. We're going to do the loom because 50 food, whatever. I need to get that out of the way anyway. My house is a little bit. Accuracy needs to go up. Advance, move faster. Let's pump out some spearmen. And we're at a point we can go ahead and go to the last age, the Imperial Age. This is going to be the last. Lily's going to have everything I'm going to need as far as my last techs and upgrades. And at this point, we are going to speed through a ton of upgrades and just get it out of the way really quick. It could be expensive, but I'm kind of prepared for that. So my wood's starting to go up really quickly. We're going to sell a bunch of it, get a bunch of gold really quickly. Keep popping out my villagers to keep my production going up. We're going to pop out a university for some of the bigger tech that I need to upgrade. Check my farms, make sure I have these things help me not have to re-click when the farm dies and they have to rebuild their farm. It's like automatic. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Just curious. Gotta explore around a little bit. See how far back here I can get. Hit points go up. Research, research, research. That needs to go up. Okay. So that is a small problem. They have a navy, and I don't have much of a navy. So we're going to start popping some boats out. Alright. I'm in the Imperial Age. They are not. Ha ha ha. First thing we're going to do, I like chemistry. That's how I'm going to figure out if I get anything that's bombs. You know, or really good siege type items. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Have you pump a couple more houses out, as I am producing way more stuff. Check for any more upgrades in those areas. I'm not worried about stone because there's so little of that. Put a couple more towers out in case they do anything. Cavalry, I'm not worried about cavalry because I don't focus on that. Nope, I'm not worried about those because those are not what I'm trying to pump out. So I'm being very specific, like I could upgrade the sword unit there, but they're expensive and I'm not going to use them. So I'm not going to do that. It would be a waste of a lot of different things, and so I'm just not going to touch it. What I am going to do, however, is work on just making sure my units that I'm going to upgrade a whole bunch, I'm going to get those out of the way and do that. Also, oh, my monks. I forgot about my monk. I'm also gonna use a suicidal unit really quickly, just to see. how much I got going on in certain areas. Okay. And as I start clearing away a whole bunch of this different wood product, I'll end up replacing that area with my mills and the food product, so I can keep that going up. That way I'm always gaining something if I can help it. Let's see. So Manguadai, I don't know how to say it. They are good at killing siege weapons. I'm not so sure they're going to be using a lot of siege weapons, so I'm not going to worry about that entirely. But no big deal. I'm not going to have many siege weapons myself because it's not how I roll. Sorry, so we're going to prep that for the villagers I am building. So, popping a bunch of houses up, but you notice I keep building a whole lot more houses because I kind of have to. There you go. Got in the way, sorry. Just gonna have you guys do that real quick. Pop about 15 more of those. I'm not worried about your stupid little wolf, that'll go away. Might as well do that. So, these are going to be the cheap units. I can pop out a ton. Not super strong, that's not going to matter. Especially when they get overrun, like very overrun with units. So, at this point I should have my food stuff going pretty decently. Going to build a gate, and we're getting to a point where we're going to be able to lay siege here pretty soon. Okay, we're going to upgrade that stuff. Okay, so that is what I wanted to be careful about. They're coming with all their boats. So now I have to prepare for an onslaught of something. And it would probably be upgrading to the last thing, but still. Okay, they should be a little bit stronger than what they got going on, but I need to still keep passing those up. They got fire ships that usually are pretty quick and fast, and not so much fun, but I think I'll be just fine. Alright, we're gonna put a little lumber over here. Yeah, okay. Theirs was no match for what I had going on at all. Oops. There we go. So we're just going to block that off, and I'll eventually block this side off as well. Meanwhile, we're going to take a peek at their nation, if I can, before dying, and see what they have. Because they don't have walls up. Okay, so that's their units. They have a whole bunch. Big on archers, and big on these war wagon things. Now, I already know the team, so those are going to be a horse type unit, so spearmen are already going to be good against it. The camels also, because those camels do good damage to horsemen, but in all honesty, I have enough resources I can pump out a bunch of those. Those should take out the archers very fast. Should. But we'll find out, I guess, won't we? I have some of my elites right there. And this is not going to be a long game, thank God. So I'm not too worried about wasting some resources on some really powerful units. Because I know I'm going to be able to wipe them if I play my cards right. So, we got some camels. We may actually do an attack on them right now anyway. We're also super good on pikemen, so I'm going to throw these down there. And while they go down there, I'm going to create 30 more. I'm going to do that so I can create them even faster. Okay. There you are. I'm going to create 3 stables here. So one of the fun things when you start getting your food up really, really fast, and I don't right now because I'm kind of playing a lax game, is that in your horsemen, these little things, the light cavalry, they're not as strong, obviously. They're probably about half the attack almost of the other ones, but they only cost food. That's it. And food is an almost completely automatic how do I say it? Renovating source. Like, you won't run out of it. You can't run out of it, almost. So, we're going to go ahead and eventually spam them with as many of this as possible. It's super fun to do. It's super jerk move, but it's so much fun because they can't do nothing about it. I also have enough. I'm going to build a second castle because the hell, why not? What are they going to do? My gosh, there's a lot of wolves. Hope he kills it. Okay, that's good. Nope. There's the last tech for the hussars as well. We're going to go ahead and build some houses down this row. Build some houses down this row. I'm going to put these on that. Okay. We can move those away because I have nothing of those. No wood, no stone or gold. We're going to put these into food and start cranking that out. And the more farms I produce, the more I'm going to have to seriously keep up that reproduction stuff. It costs 60 to put one of those out. But as long as I keep it up, it shouldn't be a problem. Keyword shouldn't. I swear, there's so many wolves. So annoying. Once I put that out, I'm going to get my last unit I need. The only siege I really that are central to me are things called trebuchets. They're good for taking down any buildings almost immediately, especially walls. Goodbye. It's just kind of the most. It's just one of those really, really, really important things to me. Realizing too, I need to finish that. He ain't coming out because he's stuck, but we want to make sure that they're stuck in there. So I'm sending those guys over there. Sending this fleet down this way. We're gonna build a farm right there as well. Get rid of that. Don't need that anymore. Sending these down to join the camels. Okay, that should be good. That should be good. Okay, we're gonna put these on farms as well briefly. Is in the case that I don't kill them with all my units, I'm going to need to end up spamming hussars, because eventually those hussars will push through them and just destroy them completely. Eventually you get enough horsemen on you, you can't avoid how much that sucks. Okay, so I only need 2 in my opinion. That'll be just fine. Gorgeous. Take a few of those actually, put them over here too, just in case. We don't need too many on this side. Okay. Throw you guys over there. Throw you 3 onto there. Check my farm reproduction, add some more. Okay. I'm gonna take some of that stone. You 5 can go ahead and start cutting the wood there. Okay. So this is what I mean by spamming hussars. I got 3 being created at one time. They're all creating 15, so at the end of that I should have 45. Now, going to go ahead and bring my soldiers in because we're going to go ahead and do the dirty. We're also going to overrun him real quick. Okay. Bye-bye. So we're just going to go ahead and take these soldiers in and just work with this for the moment. I don't think I'm going to need too much more. I honestly think I can just go in and attack them. We're going to figure that out. I'm going to send those there. Send our pikemen in. Hold on, not quite yet. Hey, how'd they do that? Alright, we're gonna go ahead and just go ahead and attack them. The worst that happens, I lose my units. Not a big deal. The moment that I start attacking, they're gonna put all their units into there. There we go. And war will ensue. Good times, good times. All the sounds are sorry, it's just the war breaking out. So that's obviously going really good. I'm not super worried then. Crap. I guess these guys are gonna go all the way around. No biggie. And then got my hussars. Those are about done too. We don't need to. Okay, so they actually did quite a bit of damage to me. So yeah, the chariots right here are ranged units, so they have a ridiculous amount of HP. They're actually really good at moving too, so they do some damage, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to end up preparing a whole nother wave of units to fight back. Now, I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm gonna do this little stupid. I'm gonna spam hussars on them like crazy. Got our pikemen again. we just keep sending wave after wave, and I won't give them a break at all because I'm not here to give them a break. I'm not. You can't give your opponent time to recoup, so. Plus I have my special units on their way to them right now as well. As soon as I figure out where they are in their process. Oh, I guess we did get rid of the units. Okay, so the spearmen definitely did the job. However, now we gotta regroup. Spearmen come back down here. And that one right there, that's the unit we really gotta get rid of. So they're not pumping out soldiers at me at the moment, so that must mean their resources are not good. That they're really running out of resources. Which is fantastic, because this is going to decimate them right here. Let's send these guys in to kind of clean up house. These ones are going to wipe their farms and houses just like this. Oh. And they resigned because they usually don't give you a chance to win. So yeah, after that you can see everything going on. They had some boats, but they really hadn't taken over their territory at all. Like, that's all they had. So that was actually a really sad attempt. Meanwhile, had half the map, and this wasn't even a good game, this was chill. But I could have just swarmed them again if need be. But yeah, it was a really simple game. And that's Age of Empires, folks. So yeah, that was my childhood, and that was probably one of the best parts about my childhood as far as gaming goes and everything. Seems boring, but it really isn't, especially when you get into a really head-on game where you're trying to really push your limits. So if you watch this, thank you for watching it. This isn't really a typical game to watch, but yeah, it's my favorite thing. So, you know, thank you for checking out, visiting my childhood, and you all have a wonderful night.